Hi guys, my name is Daniel Alexander Cannon, and this is The Supernatural Show, the show that is not for entertainment purposes. On each of our shows, we will take you on a journey to a place beyond the veil that has been placed upon your eyes, a place that cannot be seen with the eyes, heard by the ears, or touched with the hands, but your supernatural mind's eye can see it. Kind of like how you cannot see the wind, but you know it's there. Question: do you realize that a veil was placed upon your eyes and your mind the moment you were born? You were forced into a reality in which you did not choose. You were told you must believe this reality, or else, because you must believe what they believe. I, as your host, along with my co-hosts and team, will attempt during each show to remove the veil that was placed upon your eyes. All you have to do is subscribe. Forget everything you were brainwashed into accepting as your reality by your television, by your teachers, by your preachers, by your politics, and mostly even by your parents. Warning: it may be painful when we rip the veils from your eyes and you finally see the world for what it really is for the first time. However, when the veils are finally removed, and they will be, it's checkmate time for the ones who enslaved you as an infant. Before each show, we gather on the TheSupernatural.Show website on a page called Beyond the Veil. We're normally there about 1 hour prior to the show, chatting and preparing for the live show, and you're invited. After the live show, we gather at the Round Table of Knowledge page, where you can join in and chat live with us in a completely private peer-to-peer video and audio chat room. It's not recorded, and it's open to all website members. So come ask questions. Come answer questions. And remember, you do not need headphones for the Round Table of Knowledge, and there is no censorship at the Round Table of Knowledge. Now, let's get to working on removing those veils from your eyes. I've got everybody here with us today. We've got our co-host, Shannon, the Supernatural Show co-host, and also is starting her new channel now called the Children of the Most High on YouTube. And we'll be sharing those links and information, and it will be available also on the website, showing you where to find it, and even having her videos there as well on the website, TheSupernatural.Show. We also have Miss Kim in the house. Miss Kim is, her social media handle is My Southern Life. And we appreciate her being here, helping out as well. Lastly, but not leastly, well, actually, let me say hello to Super Dave and Super Mike. It may be in the comments. I'm not sure if I heard back. Oh, there's Mike Smith. He is there. Sorry we weren't able to connect before the show, brother, but we'll get what we were talking about taken care of. And hello, Super Dave. See you there too, brother. Thank y'all guys for being here. And lastly, we have Roxy in the house. Roxy's now been with us, I don't know, about 8 months or so, like that. And she's been a commentator and helped out and been on a lot of shows, actually. Matter of fact, she's been very, very consistent. And today we are going to officially give her the title of co-host as well. So Roxy,
well, looky there! Yay!
Yay!
For whatever it's worth, you are the co-host as well of the Supernatural Show, and of course Roxy hosts her own show as well along with Shannon in the Supernatural Show Network, where you'll be able to find all of that on the website, the Supernatural Show, the Supernatural.Show website, where you can find information and links to everyone that's involved work, and you can find the schedule of when their shows are going to be live. This Supernatural show is with me is changing just a little bit. I normally do Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays and do a Supernatural show like this. However, we are now, I'm making a little change on Wednesdays. It will not be the Supernatural show. It will be Logic Before Authority. So Logic Before Authority is part of the Supernatural Show network, and the show for Logic Before Authority, which will just be me, only me, and there won't be any guests, and I may not even show my face, but it's going to be kind of old school, where I'm going to take you and we're just going to use some logic to look at various things going on. It'll be a little different than the Supernatural show. So it's going to be, if you were around back when I was mostly just Logic Before Authority or the old school Idaho picker, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But a little bit different format, more simple, and just me on Wednesdays. Mondays, regular Supernatural show. Fridays, regular Supernatural shows. Tuesdays, Roxy. Thursdays, Shannon, the Children of the Most High, and Roxy on Tuesdays, the Roxy Files. And we may expand from there and have other time spots, but we all only have so much energy in a week. And right now, there's nothing. What on Saturdays and Sundays, actually, Saturday evening at 8 p.m. and Sunday evening at 8 p.m., it will be a rebroadcast of a Supernatural show from that week. So if you missed it, and maybe because you work during the week, you can see the rebroadcast that will be done in premiere format, which means you can chat with others that are there. And there's actually a lot of people showing up to the re-premiere. So, yeah. So we got all that kind of business kind of out of the way. I see there's a nice crowd joining up here today. We got some really interesting subject matter to talk about today. And I know there's, for years, there's been interest on this, about this 23 September date. And we've all wondered, is it this year that something's weird going to happen? Is it this year that something's weird going to happen? And, well, no one knows for sure. However, we're going to look at some signs, a few that you might have heard me mention in previous shows where we've talked about this a little bit. Some that are completely new and just recently discovered, of course, along with the now green comet that happens to have friends flying with it. They're saying that the Comet Atlas, the 3-eye Atlas, has orbs flying with it. Reminiscent of the last comet that came down, that was named Atlas also, with a different acronym in front of it. We have shown, and it's even in the intro, where there are orbs, which I would tell you that they are angels, in my opinion, that are following this deity down. NASA will tell you it's way out yonder, it's way somewheres, and you know, this kind of thing. NASA has their own story and way of deceiving people when looking at things. I have my way, and my way isn't necessarily the absolute only possible view, because everybody here has a little different view of things, and that's okay. But we're all seeking ultimately the same thing, the truth. That's all we want. It doesn't matter which one of us is exactly right or not. And it doesn't matter if I'm right or not. But in my opinion, if they're saying orbs are following it down, that's interesting. That's very interesting to me. Let's see if I've got that photo right here where I can pull it up. Again, congratulations to Roxy. It means something to me. And hopefully it does you too.
It does mean something to me. Hey, everybody.
Let's see here. We've got a lot to look at. as you can see it. Well, let me transition the screen. All these tabs up here across the top, and then I've got a bunch more tabs across the top. Now here is the photo where they're saying that it has orbs flying with it. And in this photo, it was an amateur astronomer that took the photo, and he said these are not stars in the background. They are orbs of light. Now, I can't vouch for this photo, so I can't say those are angels because we can't see it. All we can do is take this guy's word that he took these photos with his really expensive telescope and camera. But he's saying that he took the photos and it has visitors flying with it. And it recently was said to have turned green, which we've been talking about, a green comet coming and speculating that there would be one in September that would be coming. We were speculating this way back before they even announced that they discovered Atlas. And amazingly enough, it popped up back in June, somewhere in June. And then ever since then, they're going on about aliens and all this nonsense, aliens or aliens, just like NASA means deceive. Aliens means a lie in is what it means. They will name things just like what they are a lot of times. And then assume that no one will ever figure it out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down, and these are some other images that came from the same guy with different formats and such that he took. But we are going to go through quite a bit here. And Shannon and Roxy and y'all guys in the comments, please feel free. And Roxy, if you can keep an eye on it for me, or Miss Kim and everybody. And if you see a comment that's a good question, I don't know if you can see the comments or not, Shannon. But
yeah, it's like I can't see
you can't
comments.
See it. So, I know Miss Kim's on it and Roxy is on it too. But if you see a question or a comment that's related to what we're talking about, that's good, bring it to the table. And also, I don't want y'all guys to hold back as I'm going through this information and knowledge. I don't want y'all guys to hold back from interjecting and saying whatever it is to be said, your thoughts, even if it's not completely agreeing with what I'm saying. You still get to speak it. Now, this is the way we work here. All right, so here on the website, real quick mentions, the Angel Cruise. We're still looking and adding people for the Angel Cruise. We've got a good little crowd going, but we want to get some more going. We've also got the tinfoil hat contest, and we've got some new photos and stuff that have been a few coming in. And I'm going to update this page today after the show when you go to the tinfoil hat page where you can submit it on there. And I'm going to give you an email address where you can submit the photos as well. And all that information will be on here on that page. And this is where you can see the schedule for the different shows that are going on and even the rebroadcasts. If you click on the Supernatural Show schedules or the Supernatural Show network schedules, it should load a calendar here in a second. And you can see that, in fact, it's got, let's see here. Let's go 1 week forward. Should have more on there. I know I edited it. I'll have to look and see why it's not updated. It updated the Logic Before Authority, but it's not showing. Oh, yeah, it is. Excuse me. I just got to go down some more, silly. So we got the Roxy Files, and I've got to update the name on here for Shannon to the Children of the Most High. And then we've got the weekly rebroadcast also here on Saturdays and on Sundays of the show that goes during the week. Now, enough about all that stuff. Let's get to
on the round table. If I'm on the round table, it'll probably be between 10 and 12 a.m. if anybody wants to go just watch as I dig and investigate, that's where it'll be at daily.
We should, maybe we should consider, we'll see how consistent we are with it, and we'll put it on the schedule if we're going to be consistent. See, if you want to know about where that's at, the round table of knowledge, I'll probably go ahead and put an icon on here for it, but I have to redesign the whole page when I do that. But it's up here in the menu called Beyond the Veil Round Table. Okay, you click on that. It brings you to this page, of course, Beyond the Veil Round Table of Knowledge, and got some information for you there. And if there's anybody in there, like if Roxy is in there, or if I'm in there, or Shannon, or even Miss Kim, or whoever that might be in here, or more importantly, one of y'all guys, because y'all guys can come here, and if anybody's in here, you'll see them in here, and they're talking. You'll be able to hear them. And if you want to join in, all you got to do is push this button over here on the left. You click that button, and it'll pop up in another window, and there's no login or anything. It does ask you to put in password, which is right there. 555 is the password. And then it'll ask you for a name you can use, because you're already going to be logged into the website. I have to have it so you have to log into the website so that troublemakers can't go here and log in and do vile things on our Roundtable of Knowledge video chat room without me being able to see who they are. So, it keeps the riffraff out. Okay? So that's why you've got to log in. Huh?
I just wanted to ask for everyone's patience with me. As you are all aware, I am not very good with technology, but God is working with me on this. I finally am starting to get some stuff going. I won't be able to do this particular thing just yet. I'll eventually get there, guys. And my consistency, I will do the very best I can in the first coming weeks, but I know that I will eventually be more on point. And I know it's going to be late for a lot of people, but tonight I am premiering my testimony. It's probably not going to be till like 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So those of you on the East Coast or in other areas who can't see it, it'll be there in the morning for you and all of that. But I just wanted to.
Is this your testimony from when you were a child coming forward, Shannon?
This is my testimony of how I came to Jesus. The 3 weeks, well, a little bit prior, I of course will go into some of my backstory and childhood a little bit, but it's the main focus of the 3 weeks, which was right around this time back in 2013. It was 3 weeks from the beginning of September to which is literally September 23rd was the day I came out of it. So God really has put on my heart that I need to get this testimony out ASAP, which has been a great driving force for me to get this stuff actually done. So, I do apologize. I know you guys have been waiting for a long time for this, and I've been, saying, yeah, my channel's coming, but it's finally here. Just be patient with me because I am learning, and it's a hard road. I get very overwhelmed with all this stuff, and
technology is not Shannon's
I just
friend.
Take longer. Yeah, it takes me a lot longer than it does Daniel and Roxy and like everyone else on the planet. Like my kids could have done what I did in like 20 minutes, and it took me 8 hours. Okay. So,
when you get a chance, Shannon, get me the link to your channel.
That being said.
Did you hear me, Shannon? Shannon?
Okay. Well, I sent it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did send it. Can you not hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now? Yes, I did. I sent it to you.
Via chat?
I sent it to you on Well, it's on one of the group texts
Okay.
and your own.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
on the phone.
All right,
Text
and that's on
messaging.
me then. Okay, so let's get
But I
into.
can email it.
Y'all guys check out
Yeah.
Shannon's testimony. She's really got a powerful testimony, and I will look up, make sure I get that video out, share it through the different channels too as well, and she'll be added on the website with her new stuff here very, very quickly. Now, the other day, I happened to be, I share most of all these things that y'all guys are going to see now with the group, our main group. A lot of times as I'm preparing for shows, I was going along and just on YouTube looking at pulling up a couple things, and this thing came up. And no, you can't see it, so I'm going to zoom it in if my screen will cooperate. And it said, come up and it said, Rapture September 23rd. Rapture September 23rd. And it's a song. I clicked on and was listening to it, and it's a song put out by some group on this channel, the U1 channel. And it says, Rapture September 23rd, 2025. And it's a song, and it's called We Rise. So you can look it up and check it out. But I don't know. I mean, it just struck me with what it would take for someone to make a claim like this. But anyways, it says September 23rd, Feast of Trumpets rising, shofar calling me. And then next, another screenshot. It says, if I can get my screen to work. It says something about watchmen did the math, prophets drew the line, 7 years of trouble for the ones left behind. And another one with a couple more lyrics on it. There's 7 years of trouble for the ones left behind, but we ain't made for wrath. We're covered by the Lamb. And I was already doing research on subject matter related to the September 23rd thing that keeps coming back up year after year because of all the predictive programming for the main reason that's been put out there around this September thing. And so I don't know what to think about that other than it takes quite the opinion to put a song out saying that the rapture will be on September 23rd. And then in the song that goes, or on the 24th. And that's what this period is known as the Feast of Trumpets. That period, the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, I believe it is. And I've got more information exactly on that here in a second. And I'm looking at a lot of different things around what's going on in the heavens around that time, what's going on with certain world leaders around that time. Like you'll see, I'll show you something in a few minutes that, for instance, Donald Trump is going to be in New York City on the 23rd. He's going to be at the United Nations building, supposedly on the 23rd. Normally, they don't really make big announcements about where the president is traveling. We could go to his schedule right now, and this ain't even on there. But it's been put out in the media that he will be at the UN building on the 23rd. I find that kind of interesting. And but before we go down that part of the rabbit hole, we're going to look at a number of different things that are going on right now, how the heavens are positioned and so on. And I'm going to try to, when we look at something, I'm going to try to say, is there any way we can verify this? Do we know that this is real, or is this potentially just made up mumbo jumbo? Like, we don't even know at this point. I mean, we as a public don't even know if this comet 3-eye atlas is even real, or even if it exists, because we can't see it. They say it's this tiny, tiny dot way out there, but they'll show us pictures and say, that's it. Oh, and by the way, it's got friends flying with it now. Okay.
But there's one key word in all of that.
Uh-huh.
They told us. They showed us.
Exactly.
They.
And that's the difference. Is it a
they also
thing?
said they went to the moon.
Yeah, exactly. They also said that. Yep. In something that looked like a tinfoil hat. Yep. All right. So we're going to work our way through. I've got a lot of stuff here, so let's get moving. All right. Let's look at the solar system in the way that they show it. This is a they thing again, okay? And this is where they say that Comet Atlas is currently at, okay? It's the official name is C/2025N1, but for whatever reason, they've dubbed it also as 3-eye Atlas, okay? Got two names for whatever reason. Third interstellar is what they're saying, but they call it on here C/2025N1. Anyways, they're saying this is how it's going to be passing through our solar system if you believe in this model. Personally, I do not. However, this is the information that's available. I seen a video the other day where some people were saying that Comet Atlas was going to pass in front of the sun in September on the 23rd, and it might block out the sun kind of thing. Because I did hear them say also, that it's half as big as the sun in the sky somehow. Now, how is it half as big as the sun, but yet we can't see it? But this is the kind of propaganda statements that they're making about this comet, right? So, okay, so as you can see, Earth, I've got Earth positioned down here on the bottom, kind of like you might say on the south side, right? And Comet is supposed to come through here and pass behind the sun, and we can move it if we want to. We'll look at a couple of dates here in a second. But it's going to pass behind the sun, as you can see, back yonder behind the sun. And on, for instance, September 23rd, let's see what date are we at right now. We are on the 15th, which is what, today's date? Yeah, this is today's date. So this is what they're claiming, according to JPL.NASA. This is the current setup, right? And so let's see if we can move forward a little bit. Let's go, let's see, 16, 17, 18 is moving. Let me see. Can't see the date and it at the same time. No, it's not moving. Why are you not moving? Okay, now it's moving. That should be around the 23rd, something like that. You can see it's moved some, but no big deal. That's the 25th. So on the 23rd, which this is now the 23rd, as you can see in the lower left-hand corner. Well, you probably can't see it that good, but it's there. Unless you're on a big TV, because actually a lot of people, there's a good portion of y'all guys that watch this on like big televisions. So that's pretty cool. Y'all guys get to see really good. So on the 23rd, 9/23, the alignment is like this. Comet's still way off to the left of the sun and coming across. Now, it isn't until, let's see here. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. Well, let's just move it till we can see it's kind of lining up. Somewhere's around in there. Let's see what that date is. Let's turn this again. Still got to go a little bit more.
I kind of wanted to interject something.
Yep.
Now, I am very much so against date setting when it comes to, Jesus's return, all of those things. But I did find it very interesting. As of recently, I had come across information about the Feast of Trumpets. And the Feast of Trumpets, which is on September 23rd till I believe October something. I can't. October 1st or
22nd to
2nd.
24th,
Anyway,
probably.
right.
Hmm.
Technically, this feast has always been known as the day and the hour. I can't think straight. I'm sorry. Well, no one knows the day or the hour
Here's the
because
calendar.
the Feast of Trumpets is the one festive or feast of gods that, depending on the lunar cycle, could possibly change days in that time
Change what?
frame. So change dates, depending on the time frame because it's based off of the lunar cycle. That's
Right.
the only feast date that can possibly change depending on that. So they don't know until they know what the lunar cycle is, basically. So it's considered to be the one feast, the Feast of Trumpets, which, again, trumpets are, very heavily played out in Revelations,
Hmm.
that it is the one day or hour that no one knows because it's based off of the cycle. So
Hmm.
I just found that to be very interesting. To me, it's a sign or part of a season that we should watch for, but we don't know in which year. We don't know
No, we're not making this claim at
the
all on
second
this
it's
show.
going to happen. But this is the season that we need to keep an eye on. And
Right.
I truly feel that throughout my very, very being, because literally the testimony that I'm going to be giving tonight was played out right in that time frame and ended on the 23rd. And to me, that's profound. God doesn't show you things that don't have purpose and multiple meanings. And I just, it's definitely a time frame to keep watch for. It's the season that we need to keep an eye on. And there is correlation to the day and the hour that no one knows. So I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, and I'll expand on that a little bit too. We're looking at what looks like two different calendars, and they kind of are. This is the Gregorian calendar, of course, and I've got highlighted the 22nd. Okay, the 22nd is also known as when the amount of day versus the amount of night, how many hours, how many minutes, is exactly the same. And that's on the 22nd. And there happens to be a new moon on that date as well. And it's the first day of what they call the Feast of Trumpets. So we have a new moon, meaning there you can't visually see the moon in general. It'll be up during the daytime. As a matter of fact, it's up during the daytime, and it happens to be right near the sun, which we're going to look at. And it also happens to be both of them in the constellation of Virgo. So now when we're looking at this is the same date. The 22nd, when you look at it on Gregorian, is the first on the lunar calendar, which is basically the Jewish calendar, the first. So what it is counting is it is the first day of the new cycle, of the new lunar cycle, okay? And they call it the 7th lunation, okay? And so I just wanted to show you so you would see that what we're dealing with here, that the Gregorian is the 22nd and the lunation calendar is the 1st. It's the same day, just two different calendar systems. And the day and the light are equal, and the sun will be, and the moon will be in Virgo, which we're going to look at. All right. So going back to where we were here. So this is let's see, what date did I leave this on? This is the 22nd of October. Okay, so on the 22nd of October, you can see that around the 22nd or maybe the 21st, I'll move it back one day, that the Earth and the Sun and the comet are stacked up pretty good. They're pretty much in the same line. Okay, so that, in other words, according to their system, JPL, NASA, the Comet Atlas 3I is going to be directly behind the Sun on the 21st of October. So just so you know, it's not coming in front of the Sun. Like, well, put it this way. They are saying it's not coming in front of the Sun. Now, if you go back and look at some propaganda from the past, like Little Shop of Horrors, talking about how on the 23rd of September in a decade not too far from now, that something's going to come down, and they kept saying, comma, 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 hinting at comet. Something's going to happen on the 23rd of September in some year. And that wouldn't be no big deal if it wasn't for the fact that it was a green comet being depicted in the movie. And now we have a green comet that's, kind of showing up around these dates. And it's just a little curious. So there's... say what, Roxy?
The actor, Rick Moranis, that played in the Little Shop of Horror movie, he quit Hollywood after that movie.
Sorry, my headphones fell off. He quit Hollywood?
He quit Hollywood. He was done. He went home to raise his children. He didn't want anything else to do with Hollywood after that movie was made. Just FYI.
He might have figured out what he was doing.
Well, I think he had a few contractual agreements he had to, finish up or whatever, because there was that and Ghostbusters and something else.
Mm-hmm.
Then he was done. That's why nobody ever sees him anymore. And if you want to look at actors, look at the ones that were popular and then just disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't drink Kool-Aid.
Right. Or wouldn't sign up to do even worse evil things. Yeah, wouldn't drink Kool-Aid, basically. Wouldn't sell their soul, basically. All right, now we're looking at here, we're going from looking at it like this to adding in the constellations and the position of the comet. Now, strangely, apparently, there's another comet right up close to this one. It's called C/2025 K1. And that one is right close to Virgo as well. So this is Virgo. Let me move this down. This is what they call the constellation of Virgo. Okay. The woman that generally it's considered to be laying on her back. And we're going to look at that as well in Stellarium here in just a moment. And we all know that in Revelations that it talks about a woman clothed in the sun, the moon under her feet, 12 stars upon her head, and this dragon that comes along after she gives birth to go after the babe or the seed of the woman. We know this is, prophecy, and it's very, very highly symbolic. And we also know that they are the ones that created even these constellational concepts of that these stars are in some kind of alignment that makes this one called Virgo and have something to do with a woman. So, with that being said, though, here we have 3i Atlas is right there where my cross thing is at, okay? And we have that other comet right here, which I haven't really looked into yet. But it's coming and passing right up basically across through the hip area of what you would consider Virgo, I guess, okay? And then continuing on this way. One thing they're saying is that the tail of the comet is actually pointing towards the sun. As you can see, the sun is kind of depicted right up here, okay? The tail of this comet depicted here is pointing away from the sun. But according to them that are, that claim to have the knowledge and information, they're saying this comet tail is pointing towards the sun, the opposite of what other comets do. And they're saying now also that it has apparently orbs flying with it, very similar to the video in the intro to this show, showing the Comet Atlas that was here back, around May or something other. And we have the time-lapse footage of what looks like orbs flying with it. And I've stated many times, that I believe orbs in certain cases are angels. I believe the stars are angels. They hold positions, a nodal point in the heavens, and they sing and hold creation into its place. But different kinds of angels have different kinds of jobs. And apparently, according to the Bible and history, there's some of the angels that fall. And it's my theory is that we go through this cycle of this thing happening over and over. It takes a very long time, like, 43,000 years or something, to go through a complete cycle. But these cycles repeat. It's my theory, okay? And so when we're reading in the Bible in Revelations about the stars falling from heaven, it's talking about angels falling from heaven, coming down, and having potentially other angels with them. And it plays out in the heavens. So with Atlas back in May, you could clearly see that there were other objects coming down with it, playing out in the heavens. And I find that kind of fascinating, to be honest. So we kind of have this story playing out again. This one isn't eye visible, and supposedly it may never become eye visible, and it could be completely made up. But if they made it up, there's a reason why they're doing it. And there's a lot of things going on, like they're acting like it might be an alien ship, which is a complete made up fantasy, Disneyland, Hollywood kind of complete BS. There is no alien ship coming from some other grain of sand gajillion miles away, in my opinion. Everybody else can have their opinions, but that's my opinion. And anyone here can speak their opinion as profoundly as even I do. All right, so we see that it's in Virgo, and we also see that the sun is there in Virgo as well. And let's see here. I don't know if this has got a date on it. It's got a time. The moon, this is on the 13th. So on the 23rd, you'd have this kind of setup as well. But the moon is going to be here with it. Let's see if I've got the image that I wanted. Actually, I think I can show it on Stellarium, which we'll get to here in just a second. And I just have some of these things in here as notes, reminding me of what I'm wanting to go over and stuff. Of course, the moon aligns roughly with the sun in Virgo during the feast. So the moon and sun coming together. Masculine energy, feminine energy coming together. Supposedly there's not going to be an eclipse, but they're going to be very close to each other. It would be interesting if there ended up being an eclipse. Little Shop of Horrors predicted an unexpected eclipse. It was on the newspaper in their little opening scene. Unexpected eclipse. So our sun in Virgo, the moon in Virgo, again, the day and night between the 22nd, 23rd, the day and night are roughly about equal. Okay. Just a clarification, the Feast of Trumpets always begins with the new moon, first day of Tishrah. Okay. So during September 22nd to the 24th, the moon is going to be a thin new moon. It'll be on the 22nd, supposedly complete new moon where you can't see it. And then going into the 23rd to 24th, you might be able to see a sliver, but the only problem is it's going to be in the daylight. So it's going to be very difficult to even see that moon because it's during the daylight of day and night. Now, if we look at, see what date we got here. Okay, this is the 9th. Okay. Excuse me, 9/22. Okay, so this is 9/22. And this is Stellarium. Again, something that they built. But you can see that you have the sun and the moon are right here close to each other on the 22nd. And they're in, technically, it would be considered to be in the constellation of Virgo. And also Mercury is in the constellation as well, which may be significant somehow. I don't know. And then see, that is the 22nd. If we go forward one day, basically it's pretty much the same thing again. If we go back to 22nd, things shift just ever so slightly. If it'll do it. There we go. And let's see, there was something else I wanted to show you reference to this. Okay. On this date, about the 22nd, 23rd, that this whole period of the Feast of Trumpets, there is some other things that are going on at the same time. And there are some other propaganda type pieces of work out there. For instance, like iPet Goat that we've been looking at for years. I've been trying to decode it since like 2013, and I have decoded probably 85%, like with confidence, 85% of it. There is still a couple of scenes that I don't completely understand yet. But what is going on is that on the let's say the 23rd, let's see if we can make this change here so we can see. How do I get this to go out of full mode? Escape, maybe? Maybe not. Okay, hang on. Okay, let's see. We got constellations, constellation art, atmosphere, landscape, grid, deep sky objects, night mode, full screen. Well, let me show you this other thing here. Let me find my little charts. Here we go. So on those dates, we have 6 planets that will be parading across the sky in the night sky. Now, I'm no someone that studies the sky and the heavens all the time, but it is part of what I study. And it's curious as to the constellations that we're going to be in, and also the planets that are parading and where they're at in the constellations. Okay. In the evening sky on the 23rd, okay, the sun will be setting in Virgo, and Scorpius and Sagittarius will still be visible low in the southwest. Okay. Aquila will be overhead to the right, but overhead, forming part of this, what's called the summer triangle. And also Capricornus and Aquarius are rising higher in the southeast. But these, because of the studies I've done, these particular things mean something. And let me show you here, so far as that's the constellations. This is the planets, okay? In the evening time, you will have, right after the sun sets, you'll be able to see Mercury, Saturn, and Neptune. Okay. And the comet will supposedly be there according to they. But so right after sunset, you've got Mercury, Saturn, and Neptune to be seen. After the sunset, let's go zoom in here. After the sunset, Mercury goes down, and in the morning time, before dawn, you'll be able to see Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Jupiter, Venus. Some of them are eye visible, some you'd need like binoculars, okay? But Saturn will be bright, high up in the sky, and Neptune is going to be there, Uranus, Jupiter, and Venus. So when you take into account Mercury, that's 6. And of course, the comet is on its own little thing, but it's not a. I tend to want to use some of the words that they use, and I don't like using them. Like saying it's not a planet. It's this. It's and these are words they're steeped in lies and deception, so I hate using them. This is a layout of the pre-dawn sky, and kind of how things are going to be positioned. Okay. So, as early in the morning on the 23rd, if you're looking east, okay, southeast, so you can know where your south is at, where the south is normally at. When you look face south and you start turning to the right, turning east, or should I say turning left, turning east, you would see Saturn, Neptune, Venus. Venus will be close down to the horizon. Mercury has already set, and that's shown in this diagram here, where Mercury is at. And this is in the evening sky after the sun sets. So we get to see Mercury, and then we get to see, before the sunrise rises, Saturn, Neptune, Venus, Uranus, Jupiter, and Comet Atlas, okay? And so that's 6, and the comet. Now, this scene comes to mind. Pretty much everybody here is familiar with iPet Go. Quite a few of you know that I've heavily decoded this down to the point where it's pretty much undeniable. Not every single little thing, not every scene even, but most of it. This one here, back when I originally looked at it, I could tell that this was like a scene of someone's doing time. Okay, they're in like an Auschwitz kind of prison. Okay, from what we've seen of the pictures that we've seen on the internet, because none of us ever been there probably. But Auschwitz, with the barbed wire fences and all this, and you got the heat box, okay, and all this stuff is symbolism for something that somehow barbed wire and electricity is keeping these people prisoner. They're doing time, or I say these people, they depict a goat sticking his head out of here. But if you look up here in the right-hand corner, you'll notice that there are 6 lights in the sky. And you could say, well, that's just the lights at the prison. Nothing's ever that simple. When every pixel on here was planned, it's never that simple. Those 6 lights represent something. Question is does it represent those? Does it represent Mercury, Venus, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Jupiter? It's hard to say, but it is very curious. This is the opening scene, of course, for iPet Goat, where the goat then comes, sticks his head out of the building. It shows us the iPet Goat thing. Let's see, let me hit play for a second. I'm not a little too far. Yeah, like that. Shows us the iPet goat, which you want to get really conspiracy theory, like logic before authority kind of thing. You start counting the blocks and figuring out what's being said here. And basically the blocks are encoded with the words 9/11 or the numbers 9/11. And then it shows you that it's 9/11 the second. That will be somehow depicted in this video. And then, of course, there are many other scenes in here, like the woman clothed in the sun with the moon under her feet. And I've decoded it all the way down to this is honey on the floor. And that September 23rd is International Honey Day. And decoded the buck rabbit, what he has to do with it, decoded the buck deer over here. And also even the flowers on the wall, the irises and the lilies that bloom in September. Certain types of lilies, like I have spider lilies, and they're literally been in hiding now for 6 months, and they're popping out of the ground right now outside my house. And of course, you got the 12 avatars that are around her. She sits in the sunlight. She's clothed in the sun with the moon under her feet. And you could say, well, I don't see a moon. It may be symbolically because of that she's sitting on her buttocks even. But it's pretty clear to see that's what's playing out here. And I'm going to skip going through every little detail here because I could go off the hook on explaining a lot of stuff. But there's a scene right here where there is like a, let me see if I can back that up a few seconds. Let me let that play. Okay. A lot of people have said that these are guns, particularly like folding guns. Those images of the snow or the icebergs, they had to put them in some kind of an image. And that maybe this is some type of folding gun. Interestingly enough, it's being talked about the Kirk thing that just went on recently, that there was a folding gun, what's called an iPhone gun, that was possibly involved. But what happens here, or is depicted here in this scene, is that there's a moment, and I'm not positive, and I can't swear that these are depictions of guns, but I'm just talking. We're just talking, sitting around the coffee table, right? So there's a moment when something happens and the Statue of Liberty's flame is extinguished and falls off. So there's like a moment when something happens, when it's depicting basically the fall of the United States, which they're intending on doing if you don't realize it. They have to bring the United States as you know it down in order to get their one world order with the Antichrist running it. Okay. And I've talked about before too that we've got this character here, and he has a tail, and he's green up front, and he's only seen on television or on the internet. He's only seen on a screen. Maybe you never even see him, but he has a tail, and he's depicted as green, and his name is Draco. That's what Helio Font named him. And he is coming after the seed of the woman. He's looking at the egg. He's looking at everything to do with symbolism of the seed. And then there's more to his story, but it hit me one time that this may be symbolism for a comet. That might be far stretching, but what are we looking at?
What if that's just symbolism for television screens and smartphones?
Yeah, it could be, because it looks like it's got a little knob on it.
He's on
like
a screen,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like he's in an old school TV.
Right.
That would be, and he seems to be connected to something, and that gives me the Sentinel from the Matrix kind of thought.
Well, he's got a tail that's a serpent
It
tail.
looks like an Apple Watch.
You see, he's got that tail that's a serpent tail.
It looks like an Apple Watch.
Looks like an Apple Watch. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And
Oh, okay.
what? No, he does. It looks kind of like an Apple Watch or something like that. And then we have the rumors about the Apple foldable bang bang shoot 'em up that had something maybe going on with the Kirk situation. I don't know. I haven't dove in so far into it that I can't say really what happened there, other than I can guarantee you it was
all
controlled.
of that ice in there in that movie. Now that I think about all the ice in it, that just points me to, well, you know where all my research leads there.
Antarctica. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Every bit of it takes you right back there.
The question is it may be ice, because it certainly looks like everything is frozen, but it may also be ash, possibly. I don't know. It's never hit me clearly, absolutely clearly, what it is. What did you say, Miss Kim?
Watching the other night showed like ice or ash or something falling from the sky. I
Yeah.
can't remember the name of it.
Yeah. Yeah, what was the name of that? So yeah, there's that. There's unanswered things about
Sorry,
what is
guys.
this ash looking stuff falling. We don't know for sure. But I'm just jumping through and showing a few things. You see how like he's staring into the, whoops, a little bit too far. He's staring into the head. It's an egg head. And what it means, it's talking about the egg. It's talking about the seed. The dragon is after the seed, just like Revelations, I think it's 9. Is that what it is? That talks about the woman clothed in the sun, and the dragon comes. And a lot of this scenery that we see is like it's kind of going on in this like outer space kind of thing. Not all of it looks like that, but a lot of it is. Like this scenes of this dancing stuff that goes on, like here. This is definitely symbolism of the heavens, like the stars. And they show these things as having stars on their chests, and they all represent something. And if you go here, look at this. Right, let's see, where's it at? Right before this. This is where they show Draco the dragon, he spews. Talks about, in Revelations, it talks about the dragon spews water after the woman, but the earth opens its mouth and helps her. Now, see, you got the egghead here with the serpent, has his tail in it, and he's got yellow on his shirt because his yoke's broke. Suppose that's what they're symbolizing. And he spews.
Oh, this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. It's talking about your brain.
Yeah, it's talking about your brain. It's talking about the seed that's being destroyed. And so,
Indoctrination.
as you see, he draws back and he spews. Draws back. Here he goes.
So I know you're on a serious note here, but I just have to introduce our little guest, Toby. He had to be right here, so in case you're wondering where this little dog came from, just
Okay,
say that.
no problem. Let me, I'll turn your mic up a little bit. I forgot to do it earlier. Sometimes you're coming through too low. All right.
Wanna say hi to
Toby.
everybody?
Well, let's show Toby. You done brought him up, so we're going to show Toby now. There's Toby.
Yep.
Hey, Toby. Toby, can you hear me?
Wanna say hi? He's my little grumpy old man. But he's been really clingy, so sorry I had to bring him up here.
No problem. We ain't so serious. We can't take a break for a moment. But we had the dragon that spews, just like in Revelations. In this case, it's showing there's fire being blown into the mouth. As you can see, that's symbolism depicting the opening of a mouth. There's also a symbolism depicting the center of an apple, the core of an apple, which you can see easily if I back it up just a little bit. That is also an apple. Talking about the seed. Okay. But what does all this have to do, Daniel, with what's coming? Because you can see over and over in here that it depicts they're destroying the seed. This is a scene where all these things that look like soldiers are standing up, but they're seamen. That's what this is. That's why it looks the way it looks. Is it semen being destroyed? Again, the seed. Okay. And then there comes a point where where it kind of really probably has a lot to do with what we're talking about. And we've talked about it before. But you have these 4 characters that are dancing around in something that is obviously meant to be the Matrix, showing you the heavens, basically. And they do these dances, spinning around, doing all these things. And I have related that there's one that's in this that is likely depicting what's called the blue kachina. It's the blue-faced one that you get to see a couple of times during the whole video production, like right here. Blue kachina, or also at the same time, and I know this is repeating for a couple of you, but you got to repeat certain things sometimes. This is also the depiction of the deity that is dancing in an orb of fire or orb of light, plasma, at CERN, outside that big statue, the big circle statue. So I think, in my opinion, I can't swear to this, but I think the Hopi blue kachina and the CERN depiction, that statue, and this are all the same character. And they're stars, which we can see by looking at the chest. Of course, it has a star on the chest. And this star starts changing its masks, starts changing what it looks like, and changing its colors even. And if we look forward, we see that first off, it shows up as green. And Comet Atlas just happens to be all of a sudden now green. They're saying it's green. It's putting off green light, green color because of its. Go ahead.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody else in iPet Go that has a
Can you
star
come a
on
little
it?
closer on your mic, or I can turn you up if you need me to?
Is there anybody else on iPet Goat that has a star on their chest?
Yeah.
This is a research question for me because I stumbled across something yesterday about a star on the chest.
This scene.
Remember the song I shared in the group?
Yeah.
The new link. It says he'll show up with a star on his chest.
Oh, really?
Dressed in his Sunday best with his well-worn shoes.
With his well-worn shoes. Huh. That is interesting. Star on his chest.
Well, see, the star on the chest is what struck me.
Mm-hmm.
But in it says he'll show up with a star on his chest.
This is all for the
dressed in his
Ingersoll
Sunday
Lockwood website,
best.
right?
Yeah, it's the new one of the links down at the bottom.
Is
it's
that
song.
new song?
Yeah, it's a new song. It talks about the trumpet.
So after Kirk was whatever happened there, then they put this song out. Is that right?
Yeah, it
Do you have
come
the
out
lyrics?
shortly. It doesn't give you any lyrics.
But you basically know them, so repeat them again.
It tells you that it's talking about the Orange Man.
Uh-huh.
'Cause I got to be careful what I say.
Right.
You know, that he's going to risk it all, and that he will show up with a star on his chest in his Sunday best in his well-worn shoes. Now,
Mm-hmm.
whether that means he's wearing them properly or they're worn out, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know.
Right.
It's just something that popped up. Usually when things coincide, and anyway, star
Well,
on his chest.
We
It
should be
confused
checking
me
out what
yesterday.
he's wearing and checking out his shoes when he shows up at the UN for sure on the 23rd or any other time period around here in the near future, because it's
I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna go listen to it right quick.
Okay. It's been a ongoing kind of a thing, because T has been popped at twice, right? According to they.
Song has changed. It's not there anymore.
Really? Gone.
Now it's a song about Charlie.
Yeah.
The links on there, when I started looking at these links, I get more interested in. I'm not worried about what they're saying. A lot of it is links to declassified documents.
Mm-hmm.
Is where my rabbit hole begins. But I now check it on the daily. I have now set a timer to check it 3 times a day. That's how fast the links are changing.
Mm-hmm.
I was checking it once a month, once a week, once a day. Now we've noticed, me and the others that follow that page, 3 times a day, they're changing links and posting stuff.
And it's being done coinciding with events that are taking place.
With events.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them, if you actually catch the post before the event, you'll realize that the post was showing you the event.
The event, yeah. Yep. Do you see anything on that website other than what you just read about a star being on chest and this kind of stuff? But do you see anything on the website that potentially points towards September and that Feast of Trumpets range of the 22nd, 23rd, 24th?
No, the biggest things lately have been, because I also look at the URL when I'm decoding this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Got to.
Well, and right now the most current links is the George Bush unauthorized biography, how Bush's grandfather helped the man with the little mustache come to power back in the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
That lady Nancy, she's up there in that house and she drinks a lot. She's kind of old and everybody says she's a little, last name rhymes with Pelosi.
Yeah.
It talks about, it talks about how her dad was related to FBI stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is one on the governor of California and how he keeps it all in the family, has been for years. Hillary and her husband and the body count around them. And then there's a couple of YouTube videos. And then there's one showing you how eugenics had been implemented in America. And then it leads you directly to a YouTube video of Mr. Gates talking about how eugenics need to be implemented.
Mm-hmm. And then he's now sitting beside Mr. T recently.
Yeah, I've been researching that conference with Mr. T, and I've watched some of the people that are associated, like us truthers that go in and dig.
Mm-hmm.
And as usual, there's more going on there than I think we see.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of it in the past 72 hours has been exposing the actual reach, depth, and control of Facebook and Google and what they were originally set up for and how they were funded. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. But there's some big names out there like exposing it, and it goes all the way back into Teal and the VP and when they first come about and where funding come from, and then that dude that had an island and himself, so they claim. It connects all of that money to all of that.
The rising of the phoenix. You got to burn it down before you build it back. Just like Biden was saying, we're going to build back better after we burn it down.
That's what I said. The whole world feels like a bunch of Molotov cocktails being slung at us at the moment.
Right, pretty much. But it's just getting rolling good, and I'm hoping it'll stay out of second gear.
I have been so deep.
The 23rd.
I keep a legal pad for like each avenue of investigation I go down, so I can try to keep all my notes together. Today it has been a 4 notepad kind of day.
Right.
My brain hurts.
Right. All right. So yeah, keep an eye out. All the things that we talk about on here. Keep an eye and see if you see anything popping in there that obviously related, which you obviously already are, but
I'm
especially
back
in the
on the
next
site because
in the next
go
week
ahead.
here. I'll keep an eye on the next week and see if, going into the 22nd, 23rd, see if you see anything popping up or something that might symbolically make some sense. All right, let's see. If we go to the end scene here, because we've got all these things dancing, of course, they're obviously depicting stars up in the sky and they're making their movements, changing their mask. We decoded a potential decode of this one being what's called a doctor's death mask, showing up somehow. Maybe what they might do is say, oh, we're passing through the path of the comet and it's causing, we're getting this alien plague that's, scaring everybody. Ain't no telling how this might come into play. But when we get to the end scene down here, see here, like right here, you remember which constellations it was, either Shannon or Roxy, that are going to be in the sky when the sun's coming up in the morning time, or right before the sun comes up in the morning time. Which ones are there, which means they would still be there even after the sun rose, this is showing it a little bit after the sun rose, but right before this, before the sun rose right here, imagine it in your mind. Of course, we have Scorpio. You can see the tail of Scorpio right here. Scorpius. You can see depicted symbolically a claw right here as well, and the body of the scorpion back here. And you can also see another one that will be positioned to the upper right of Scorpio will be Aquila. In the upper right, you can see that this looks like an eagle or a bird, Aquila, right up here. And then below that will be basically Cupid, or which one is that? Is that called Sagittarius? Which one's the one that has the bow and arrow and is pointing kind of at the Scorpion? Anybody?
I'm sorry. I was down a rabbit hole. I'm sorry. I was in chat.
No
I don't
problem.
know.
You handled it. I appreciate that. I was saying, let me just look it up. I got all this ability right here at my fingertips, and for some reason I'm getting my constellations mixed up. Let's
Sorry,
see.
I don't know what constellation either. And I'm just
All right.
tripping out on my dog right now because he is really freaking out. And I know that dogs can sense earthquakes, so I'm a
Sagittarius.
little...
Sagittarius. Okay, so let's look back at our list.
That would be from our intelligent viewers because I could not come up with that one off the top of my head for some
Yeah,
reason.
okay, so let's go back to our list of Sagittarius. Okay, so there we go. Exactly right. Scorpius or Scorpio, Sagittarius, which is like the Cupid thing, will be there. Matter of fact, it's depicting it right there. This is, I can't swear it'll be the year, but this is that morning. This is the morning. And what it depicts happening is you see the little comet looking, or this little fireball right up here coming in, and it strikes the pyramid, which is symbolism for the controllers of the world, or the control centers of the world. Like, in my opinion, that would be, unfortunately, Babylon, Mystery Babylon. And unfortunately, unless something shows me something different or somebody convince me differently, the United States, particularly New York and several other places, that are the control centers for money, media, and so on. But so now we have a comet that is coming just like is depicted here, okay? with Aquila, the sun rising, and we've got Aquila, we've got Sagittarius, and we've got Scorpio. All three depicted right here. And I've always looked at this one thing right here. See this object right here, this long object coming down? It looks like, what does that look like to y'all guys? Can you see that? Or have I lost you back in the comments?
What?
This thing right here.
What object?
Looks like a spear.
Looks
to
like
me.
a spear kind of right here. See how it's coming down right here?
All right.
You see that? And it has like a loophole in it right here.
Yeah.
What is that? Anybody in the comments? Is
Dragon's tail?
there something out there like that? I mean, maybe it's like something to do with the dragon or something other, but is there an arrow or a spear that looks anything like this? Anything? Is this ringing a bell?
I'm watching comments. We got
Or
dragon.
Could it?
It's a dragon's
yeah.
tail, a needle.
Almost looks like something that you would use to crochet with.
Oh, a needle.
Yeah. The eye of the needle.
Uh-huh. Because they didn't put this here for nothing. It's not just to score Scorpio, which happens to have a needle on his tail, and Sagittarius, which happens to have a needle on his bow, you know. So you got...
It would be more like a sewing machine needle, though, because where the eye of the needle is.
Right.
If
right.
it was a needle.
Let's move this forward some and just see.
Or could it be like Leviathan?
Yeah, I'm not.
Which is mentioned in the Bible.
Everybody in the comments is saying dragon's tail.
Dragon's tail. And see, we've got these.
I mean,
like
the
fireball.
light on it where it is, it looks like it could be an eye. So to me, it reminds me of like Leviathan. Oh, but see, then that trails. Okay.
You know, that fireball or missile or something falling from the heaven comes down. It doesn't thread that needle, does it? Let's go back. I don't think so. I think it shows it kind of passing in front of it.
No, it goes through. Oh, in front?
Yeah, it passes kind of.
Okay, it passes in
from
front.
the perspective of the way we would normally look at things, it passes in front. But then there's one here that'll come in a second that comes down and hits. Or here comes another one off the sun to the upper right. And you think, what are you doing, Daniel? Why are you if you want to figure something out, you literally, I've spent over a decade staring at this video. I've probably watched it 1,000 times. And that's how I was able to decode a lot of it. But it takes a lot of time.
Well, I don't know if anybody out there has used the AI models to create anything along this nature. But just the simple little thumbnails that we have for the shows, just to get that image to look anything like what we want it, you got to have a couple of paragraphs. Because if you don't tell it exactly what you want everything to look like, it's not there. So everything in this image, if it was created with any kind of computer generated software, every single detail that's in there would have had to been put in there purposefully, or it would have been blank. Right. There's no it's in there because it was background. That doesn't work with AI generation like that.
And I think Shannon was the first one long time ago to say that she said, that looks like it was done with AI. Was that you, Shannon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I agree.
I truly believe this whole thing is AI created.
Way too much going on.
100%.
So
it is 100% AI.
This whole depiction.
And think about how long ago this came out, right?
2013.
And what they've been showing us, what AI is capable of in the public eye, but I mean, truly, it's been, we're 40 years behind, okay? What's shown in the, on the mainstream.
75 at this point, probably.
Yeah, right? Ooh.
You got to realize, Shannon, we ain't young no more. So to us, like 20 years ago feels like yesterday.
Now, when you look at this
Yes,
overall
mhm.
image, it's showing you this something in a boat, and I would say what's in that boat. This is a comet. Okay, it's more like see the water you're looking at. You're looking at the heavens, and all the little other symbols are all constellations, and you got the sun with these other things flying around. You're not looking at water out in a frozen landscape. You're looking at like the heavens, and then you got the three pyramids. Almost remind me of Orion's belt because of how they built the pyramids that are tied to Orion's belt. And Orion is actually going to be seen in the heavens, but it's way in the west, while all the other action is going on in the east. But it is seen. Don't know exactly what that means, but I'm pretty positive because a comet is considered to be if you really go digging, and I've done it, comet is considered to be, the Egyptians believed that it was a boat carrying a deity. Okay. And I suspect that it is, you could call it a boat, but if you look at a comet as it's coming, like, remember how I told you how when angels streak, they leave a line behind them of like sparks? That's what a comet reminds me of when I've seen it with my own eyes, the naked eye comet, like last May or whatever it was, when we seen that first one called Atlas. It leaves that streak behind it. And then we see comets that have got the streak, but it's like it's somehow in slow motion compared to when I see an angel close up that streaks, like the one in the intro of the Supernatural show, the one that comes down above the Dome of the Rock and that sits there for a second and then streaks, flashes, and then streaks straight up. And as it streaks, it leaves a light trail behind. That means something. It's all connected, you know? We're just trying to piece the puzzle together the best we can. It isn't, I know sometimes I talk like I think I know something, but I'm just like y'all guys. I just want to try to figure it out.
Is there an iPet Goat 3?
There is, but I'm not sure. What do you think, Shannon? iPet Goat 3. I don't even know what to say about it. It's totally done in a different format.
Sorry. Yeah, the one that's all, because I've seen the three things that have been put out on that channel, the Heliofont channel, and that's the iPet Goat 2, and then the other one with Trump and Putin. Oh, sorry, those guys, the U.S. and Russian guy doing some kind of weird
karate dance or judo or whatever. That wasn't on the Heliofont channel, was it?
Super bizarre. Oh, it was? I thought so. I thought it was.
No.
I'm pretty sure, because a lot of people, anyways, I thought I'd watch on that either way, and then I saw the other one, possibly, but I did see the other one too, where it was like live action, and it was just filming these buildings and surroundings where the actual headquarters is, where they made the film. Is that the one you're referring to specifically?
No, that's not iPet Goat 3. That was on Heliofont, the Heliofont channel on YouTube.
Right.
They were walking down this, like at a kind of a boat harbor, the docks and everything. He walks down and goes up and shows you the headquarters of the Heliofont. That's not iPet Goat 3. That's a totally different thing. That was on the Heliofont channel.
iPet Goat.
Yeah, it's
what exactly is
that? Was like
Putin
and Trump doing karate chop movements, and an alien ship come in and landed.
Exactly, yeah.
And if it's from the same group of people, then yeah, it would be a legitimate iPet Goat 3. But I don't know why, but this one has been way more intriguing for me. Maybe I should look at that one again, because I haven't looked at it in a while. I'll try to do that. I'll look at iPet Go 3 again and see if it makes any sense at all at this point in the game, but we'll see. But right now, I know we're looking at in this depiction a September at some point, and something is struck by something and causes everything to go kaplowy. Because the whole scene is set here. You got Sagittarius, Scorpio, Aquila, and what is all in the heavens right now? Exactly those stars. And yeah, so
Okay. Just FYI,
mhm.
just popped up. You know me, I'm on a side quest now. iPet Go 3
Uh-huh.
was made by Seymour Studios.
Uh-huh.
Little Shop of Horrors. Feed me, Seymour.
No way.
I'm not kidding. It was put out by Seymour Studios.
No
And the critter,
way.
or either the guy in the shop or the guy in the plant, Rick Moranis plays, is Seymour. Because remember the critter says, "Feed me, Seymour."
Wow. That is a massive catch. Wow. Seymour Studios. That's about blown my mind now. I'll be down that rabbit hole here in a few minutes. Guess I could do it now, but oh
Can't
Lord.
help but have these side thoughts.
Hey, it works out. Normally when you find some things.
And
you know,
Seymour Studios only has 5,000 followers, but there's all the way up to iPet Goat 6.
all the way to 6
All the way to 6
Wait,
on
wait,
Seymour
what?
Studio. Yeah.
on Seymour
There's
Studios.
all kind of stuff
I
on
wish-
here.
I wonder
Like
if
I
we
said,
could
we'll have
watch
to
them, or
investigate.
if we'll
I
get in
don't know.
trouble.
But the Seymour Studio, when I looked up iPet Goat 3, it says by Seymour Studios. And then the immediate thought in my mind was, feed me, Seymour. It's SEYMOUR.
Yep, I think I got it.
No, MOUR.
And it's got
Yeah, you got it. The green badge there.
Yep, green badge. Let's see, can I get that to let me open the image? No. Okay, so what do I see here? Green for one, just like the Little Shop of Horrors, the green and all that, and the green Comet.
The WhatsApp number up there appears to be European.
Here is our image that is on his banner.
Look at that sword. Looks a whole lot like what we were just watching a Comet fly through on 2, right?
Well, it is similar, that's for sure. Seymour Studio. And Seymour is the name of the killer plant that comes to eat you. And when they were the movie that calls out the September 23rd, and a comet coming down to get you. It's like, and they like messing with us. But most people would never even notice this. So here you got, see this image right here? It looks like the sun is down here at the bottom, rising above the horizon right here. See that?
Yep.
And then there's this something other streaking through the sky, kind of serpent-like, or streaking through the sky, and it's a star, or is it an angel? Is it a deity? Is it a, thinking out loud? And I'm not sure what's going on with this dude's outfit. He's got, I'm not sure what to think about him yet. Huh.
See, now I'm going to spend the rest of my day down Seymour Studios page.
Oh boy, here we go.
Gonna need a whole new notepad for this one.
Oh boy. If y'all guys didn't catch earlier, Roxy and I and y'all guys can do it also, is go into the round table of knowledge room that's on the website, TheSupernatural.Show, then find the round table of knowledge. And you can go in there with others and try to seek the answers to a lot of this stuff.
I think we
and
should
share 'em
watch
with each
this
other.
Beyond the Veil with our viewers.
Huh? Say what?
I think if we're going to watch these other versions of iPet Goat, we should do it beyond the veil
We
with
could-
our viewers. So
Yeah,
they-
then we wouldn't have to worry about getting a copyright. Yeah, we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that, if not sooner, maybe we'll do that this Friday, is watch these other versions. Like this is iPet Goat 6, The End of Zionism. And let's see what else we got. We got Green Man, which is kind of the image that was up here with Seymour Studios, Green Man. And we got, this looks like a little fairy flying around, like something from Disney. And the sparks that fly off of the Disney fairy. Hey, pass me some of them snacks.
Oh, sorry, guys. I'm eating Cheetos. I'm starving.
It's okay. Let's see. So here's iPet Goat 5. I had no idea that there was more of them out. I knew there was number 3. And there's been a few people that's tried to create them, and you can tell it's just somebody trying to get some traction. But that's 5. Then there's all these other videos in the middle. Yeah, another could be interesting video that tell. Let's see. We got teaching how to create videos, all this kind of thing. The Seymour movie. There's Bay Rocktar, TB3 Seymour movie. Okay. So yeah, we'll go back and find all these. There's 3. Pet Goat 3. Looks like the Green Man is fighting with Christ. What? The Green Comet's fighting
FYI,
with Christ.
The YouTube handle identifier is at greenman19.24.
Say that again.
The user's handle for the channel,
Oh.
Seymour Studios.
19.20. You're talking about up here.
Yeah, his handle, like mine is Roxy.
Yeah.
His is greenman19.24.
Any thoughts on what that might mean? I find it interesting. But
I'm on
it
it,
means
buddy.
something.
I'm down this.
19.
I'm digging this rabbit hole as we go. I apologize for anybody I left in the comment thinking, but a squirrel has run by and I have become distracted.
Well, that's what you do. That's what we do. All right. All right. Let's see. We're going to come back to the other iPet Go videos. Maybe we will do that on Friday. We'll go live like normal, but then we'll transition, go and watch all these together, and probably won't get them all done in one session, but we can work on it and see what we see, because I haven't watched iPet Go 3 in quite a while. You'll want to make sure that your login and password is working for the website. So that way you'll be able to get to where we're at. Okay. Let's see what else I got up here.
I'm trying to find the meaning of the name Seymour at the moment.
Seymour,
just checking. Yeah.
That'd be
Which
another
so
good thing to know.
far it's just coming from the meaning of Saint Maur or Moore. I don't know how you pronounce that specifically. And then also deriving from Old English words for sea, like the sea.
And see more.
Or Lord of the Marsh. Here we go. Lord of the Marsh.
Yeah, look
That's
into
kind of
each
interesting.
syllable, and even sometimes you have to even go into the letters. But see more. And it's spelled S-E-Y. Is that what it was?
Oh,
Yeah.
S-E-Y-M. Yeah. So far, yeah, the main meaning that I'm seeing is Lord of the Marsh or Lord of the Swamp.
Seymour. Well,
Mhm.
that plant they created for that movie was like a you know, a type of
Swamp monster.
swamp monster. Yeah, there you go. Pretty much. So if you're just recently joined, guys, here on the live stream, this is an image that came out by an amateur astronomer that says that the comet that is traveling has things traveling with it, not background stars, because those will be on their own independent path, but actual like orbs that are traveling with it. And that's an image of it. That's what we're looking at there. There's another one, and here's another one as well. And I don't know what is going on here, even if it's even real, because it's coming from they out there somewhere. And none of us have the kind of equipment that we would need in order to be able to go and look at something like this. Yeah, so there is that. And all of this is also, we happen to have, you know, because we just had a bang bang shoot 'em up the other day with the one gentleman, unfortunately. And they did a really convincing job of making it look like he ain't breathing anymore. And if that's the case, I feel really sorry for for him and his family, no matter what.
He made it very clear he did not agree with that agenda and would no longer be a part of it. And he publicly said he thought his life was in danger by his change of opinion.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's hard to know what
I
really
always
what's going on.
remember, I always like to remember anything that is that public on the world stage.
Mhm.
It is a ritual. And
One way or
when
another, I
speaking
think
of
it was
ritual,
controlled.
there is definitely a blood sacrifice of some sort. Whether it is that person or not, I could not tell you.
Right.
Whether
We don't know.
And I don't-
not
think
what
that
we,
enough
I
to know
mean,
for
there
sure
are a lot
anything.
of things about it that are very, very questionable.
Mhm.
But
Like the guy doing all the signaling
But
with
I
his
will
hats and
tell you, if it was that big of a ritual, there was bloodshed in one way or another.
It looked like it. At a quick
Well,
look, it looked like it.
But I
that
don't
may
know if we're talking central casting or not. So we don't know.
Well,
We don't know.
even if the said person that was sitting in that chair was not actually
The said
taken
person,
out.
or even if it was, or even if it wasn't that person, because you can put a mask on. There's so many variables at this
Well,
point.
there's so many variables, but see, I watched a Blacklist episode the other night, and that's kind of like one of my I've seen the whole series a couple of times. You can just let it play in the background. And on this show, I'm not going to discuss it or relate it to anything of current value, but I'm just going to tell you what happened on that show.
Mm-hmm.
They had a political figure who arranged his own
Mm-hmm.
end.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking slowly, trying to get the right words,
Mm-hmm.
because he knew
Arranged his
that
own
an
exit.
opponent.
Mm.
Yeah, he arranged his own exit because he knew that his biggest opponent was fixing to help him find the exit.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the effort to thwart the opponent's plan, they interceded with the person who was going to carry out said plan, like a person on a roof.
Mm-hmm.
And that person in the Blacklist show, the little things that they had that went in that thing that, makes the loud noise,
Mm-hmm.
they thought they had real
Mhm.
things, but they were as blank as they could be.
Mm-hmm.
So even that person is convinced that they have showed that person the exit and that they done it with their group of people that controlled them.
Mm-hmm.
But there was an intermediary in there that actually took over and faked the cartridge. Go look at what was written on that cartridge.
Mm-hmm. I looked at some of them, what they said was written on there.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Bulge. Blank.
Huh?
I will say this,
Bulge?
despite
Bulge. That was Willie's catch.
It said,
And
it
I'm
said
not-
bulge?
Yeah. It says bulges.
What does that have to do with blank? Fill me in. I'm slow.
If there's nothing in that cartridge that goes bang other than something to make noise, it would be blank. And you would pull that thing that makes that cartridge go, from point A to point B, assuming that there was an actual something in there that would hit point B. But if somebody had interceded and knew you were going to do it and they headed you off and put a blank in there, even when you pull it to make it go bang, it makes a noise, so you assumed you have done it, and there are other people there who just made it all look like it happened.
Right.
I just want to say this real quick. This is so very important to understand. Whatever nefarious purposes were planned for this event that had taken place, God has very clearly shown his hand in what outcome there could be. And the Holy Spirit has really it's just been put in so many people's hearts that haven't been seeking out God. And I just want to say that no matter what the nefarious purpose is, God has a plan, and God will use that for the great purpose of his kingdom. So no matter what, don't focus so much on all of the negative rhetoric, because their plans are being thwarted very, very, very hard right now, because the Holy Spirit is amongst so many all over the world. So just remember, God can take something meant for evil and turn it into something beautiful and of light and of God.
You mean kind of like at the crucifixion?
Amen. Exactly.
Flip something that's awful into something that changes the world forever.
Listen, we have a listener on here. His name is Fax. Fax is with us a lot. I talk to Fax. Fax is over in the UK. I have not been able to reach him in a couple of weeks now, which is concerning, because last time we spoke by video chat for about an hour and a half, he was telling me a lot of the things that are going on over there. Just for reference, everybody in our audience, we still have 172 that we know of that are still watching right now. What you see on Facebook, mainstream media, TikTok, don't ever accept that when you're seeing something saying there's an uprising or a rally or things of that nature, that it is true.
Right.
Because what you're seeing may be AI, it may be old, it may be faked. So
question everything.
Before you believe in what you're seeing, reach out and contact somebody who's there. Because last week there was a situation they claimed was going on in Chicago. I wasn't sure of it, so I reached out to somebody I knew, and they said, "Do what? What are you talking about?" So see, what we were seeing on TikTok was not what was actually going on in Chicago. But make sure that,
and if you can't verify it, you can't
vetting your information.
Bet on it. Yeah, you got to watch it.
Yeah,
they're after our minds really, really bad, but more than our minds, they're after our souls. So, yeah, that's very good advice, Roxy. Very good advice. So, guys,
and that's why I ask. We do have international viewers on the show.
Yep.
We love to hear from you guys.
We would like to hear from you.
We like to know what's going on your side of the world, because unfortunately, the only information we get is what we're given. Because the United States is a country, people say we're not well traveled. If you look at the square mileage of our country versus other country, you can put many countries inside of ours. We don't normally travel to other countries because our country is so large that it would take you a lifetime to explore it all and see it. And it's just, we don't communicate with people outside of our own borders on a regular basis. And that is done strategically by they. They don't want us talking. They don't want us comparing notes. Because just as soon as we start comparing notes and you look at my notebook and I look at yours, we'll be like, 1 and 1 is, 2. We got to, that ain't what they told us. So they don't want us talking. There we go. We got one. Welch Truth Seeker. He's from the UK. Okay. Welch, was there a 3 million man march in Charlie's honor the other day? Everything we've been seeing on TikTok.
Y'all guys that are over the pond and other places of the world, you're not in the U.S., we really think I've got to create a specific place, like another little separate room where it's specific to international communication, because all of y'all guys, like, it's hard for me to get a call one of you guys or to even do certain things, but the video audio chat room that we're using on the website, it don't matter where you're at in the world and it'll work. And that's pretty powerful. And we can meet. I mean, you can have a pile of people and meet up there and say, okay, what's going on in Australia? This is what we're being told over here.
Truth Seeker. Well, Welsh Truth Seeker said there was the uprising of all of those people standing up that they were Charlie.
Yes, in London, I see. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was it millions of people?
Wow. 3 million. Like, they swarmed London, and all of them in a positive manner, singing, praising the gospel, telling the truth, that there was nothing violent about it. And I don't know if anybody else out there in our listeners, and I'm going to say this out loud and I may sound crazy, but you can feel it. You can feel the world changing. There are so many people now that are waking up. There are some that are never going to wake up, and we have to learn to come to grips with that.
Lead us back into another trap. We can't allow it to happen. They want us to wake up, and then they want us to go back, run this way, sheep. And we can't allow it this time around, guys. They've been fooling us too many times over and over. I wanted to point out real quick, not to interrupt you, Roxy, because I want you to say whatever you wanted to say there. I see Frizzy Peach from the UK, and I also see EM Real from New Zealand in here as well. So we've got people all around the world in here today. And I really, honestly, I greatly appreciate that. And please come back and watch the shows, because I'm going to create a place that's specifically for y'all guys, the international meeting room kind of thing. I'm going to set that up. And by the time we have the next show, it'll be on the website, and I'll show it to y'all guys, because we've got to connect across the pond, because they're working us over here, people, and they're working y'all guys over there. And it's like, but we need to have a better, true understanding of what's happening across the world, just like Roxy's saying. So everybody here, I greatly appreciate that you're here. And especially when I see people that are all over the world in here like that. So that's awesome.
Well, and I just want people to understand and realize not everybody's going to wake up. There are some that are just not going to. They're going to be loved ones. They're going to be your children, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your friends. They're going to be somebody that just will not wake up. It's going to sadden your heart, and it's going to break your heart, because you know when all this comes down, they're not going with us. So be prepared.
Ashley Styles, I don't know if Ashley, are you overseas or not? She said something about, okay, I guess you went ergo, you want to big it up, but there's not 100K, nor was there 3 million. It was around 500,000, which is still a lot of people, but 500,000, which is still much more than the TV said. Not quite.
That's 500,000 people, regardless, that had not stood up in the name and brought the light and the love. 2 people might have been more than there was a week ago.
We tend to forget what's going on in Europe, and it's not just in the UK. It's in France, it's in Germany, it's in a lot of places that they're getting the bravery to stand up against what's going on in their area, because they have been dealing with a lot of issues dealing with a specific ideology or ideological group that is trying to eradicate their, the Western idealism. Just, you all understand what's going on out there. So here in America, until free speech is, this is one of the things that's under major attack. But we haven't even been suppressed like they have. And we're feeling it. But they finally are getting the bravery to stand up against things in that essence, which is pretty awesome. But, there's going to be a lot of chaos between, now and however long. Just remember that when it gets to that point here, that's kind of a worrisome thing, because we've been told we've been able to be brave enough to stand up against that. But I feel like I'm trailing off, guys. Sorry, but you understand what I'm saying. Like out there is pretty intense. We haven't gotten there yet here. Right. We think we're there, but we're not. So for them to go out in that kind of way, which is not something that is okay out there, you can be arrested for preaching the gospel on the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like arrested. So for all of them to come out and be like, woo, praise Jesus, that's kind of a big thing out there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We just got to be...
And it's happening. Yeah, it's happening all over the world. And this is something that was not happening before this event occurred the other day.
We've just got to stay out the cage this next time around. Somehow we can. We've got... Because we get excited and say, yeah, we're free, and runs right straight into a prison. It's like, somehow, I don't mean to sound like I'm being a downer on the situation, because I ain't. It's awesome. But we can't let our excitement overrun our ability to think logically.
No, and I agree with Tanner. We need an evolution of consciousness.
Yeah. And they need to be out of power.
And the only way we can do that is with a collective consciousness toward light and love.
So that
historically speaking,
they use the internet and all this surveillance and all these things, and they modeled it off of what we already have the ability to do. We've just forgotten how, and that is that we can, I believe, we can become one people, one movement. When it gets far enough that maybe God will connect somehow supernaturally and just deal with this situation the way Father would have us to deal with it. Because, I hate to say like, well, let's go rub them out or something like that. You can't you can't say that. But two, it's like, I don't even feel like that's right. It's like, let's just put them on an island out yonder and don't give them any boats or something. I don't know. It's hard to have the answers to all this stuff. Hello to Kalamazoo. Where's Kalamazoo at?
Well, historically
I wanted to be in Kalamazoo a time or
just
two.
know that they're... Historically speaking, just know that in times like this and in these kinds of things, there will be another event, probably bigger, to stir up the trauma.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone stay strong. Don't let that deter you from God's purpose.
That's kind of why we were watching.
Whatever happens in the world, just know that.
Michigan,
right.
by the way.
And even just like in 2020, we had, the lockdowns, and we also had the other stuff going on with the gentleman who was, all of that, and riots and all of these things, but it was like boom, 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 right after another. And historically speaking, that is a big giant red flag for big time things to happen. But whatever is going on in the world stage, just have peace in your heart and don't let that affect you. Remember to turn the other cheek. Remember to love thy neighbor. Remember what's important, because it's going to happen and everyone around you is going to lose their mind as they're doing now. So you just remember to be the ocean and not the wave. You know?
Okay there, Padawan.
Stay calm and at peace and know that God is with you.
All right,
Hey,
guys, I
man,
got to get
I'm
out of
just
here. I
speaking
got two
peace.
grandbabies that are
That's
out there kicking
okay.
a soccer ball.
It's okay.
Yep. Yep. We are going to go ahead and get on out here, guys. Y'all guys really showed up today. I greatly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be here. If you're new, please subscribe. Please know that
We've
we're
had
going
some of the highest numbers ever today.
well, not ever, no, but it was good numbers.
Well,
So,
recently, yeah.
make sure if you haven't been to the website before, go there, get signed up for like just even anything, sign up for anything, and it puts us in communication, okay, so that we can't be separated. We need to communicate more with our overseas people. I'm going to build that room. Remember, we got hopefully an angel cruise coming up here in sometime in the near future. We'd love to see y'all guys there. And don't forget that we've got a tinfoil hat contest going on right now. We're going to have a little fun and make fun of ourselves while they make fun of us. But as it turns out, we're not the ones that are wearing the tinfoil hats. They are. So, there is that. But with that being said,
tomorrow.
Huh?
Show tomorrow, 5 o'clock.
Show tomorrow. Today is you're tomorrow at 5.
Yes.
All right. Tomorrow, 5 o'clock, Roxy will be live. Shannon may be there. I don't know what they're doing on that. But we are running 5 days a week right now. Monday is Supernatural Show with the whole crew here. Tuesday is Roxy with the Roxy Files. Wednesday is Logic Before Authority, him just by himself, meaning me. Thursday is currently scheduled as Shannon, okay? Even though she's going to do something tomorrow as well. We'll throw in additional things sometimes. Friday is the whole crew back together again as the Supernatural Show. Saturdays,
Tonight.
Tonight. Okay, tonight then. And then...
Yeah, tonight. Yeah, premiering tonight.
About what time?
It probably won't be till about 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So,
all right. Well, if you can, drop the link to your channel in the comments, and that would help you out probably.
Thank you, Mike and
Dave. Yeah, Mike and Dave got me. Thank you.
There you go. Them boys are on the ball. Super Dave and Super Mike. And next week we'll have, or very soon here, I've already said it, we tried to do it today, but it didn't work out. Communication didn't work out. We'll have Super Dave and maybe Mike on the show to chat with us for a couple minutes as well. For y'all guys that have seen them around forever, and a lot of other ones you hear a lot. So thank you all for being there. And there is Shannon's channel link, Children of the Most High. So, give her a subscribe. And she'll be doing a show later tonight, like she said. About what time did you say, Shannon?
I think she said about 9.
About 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's okay.
Pacific, so that'll be
problem.
Midnight East Coast.
Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
Well, we love you guys, and we'll see you. Well, Shannon will see you tonight, and Roxy will see you tomorrow, and I'll see you again on Wednesday. I love you. Get your passwords and logins working for the website, TheSupernatural.Show. Love you. See you again real soon here on The Supernatural Show. Bye-bye for now.